Today is April 29, 2026. It is 4:26 a.m. This is like video number 4 or something like that. I have some tweets I want to share with you. This has nothing to do with Harry or Meghan or Charles and the US or anything like that. There were some discussion I was seeing about some prenup kind of thing. So I'm curious to find out what it is about. What are they talking about? And I think this is the beginning of that prenup topic. All right, they think they're smarter, prettier, and ultimately better than the woman before them. You're wasting your breath and time. This all ends once women recognize no one is above the patriarchy destroying you. All right, so she retweeted that. I don't know who these people are. Rebecca Lawson gave a really good summary. Okay, I'll come to that. So let's go into this and listen to what she's talking about. I think this is the beginning of it. Young women, please learn from women like this. People change. Protect yourself. 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
So at 27 years old, when I signed that prenup, I signed away my rights to everything. Anything that he had before our marriage, anything that he makes or grows or builds during our marriage. And then I signed away all of my rights to anything after the marriage. So like people are talking about retirement and Social Security. I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God, you can
but I don't get any of it because I waived it. I waived alimony.
What?
I waived any kind of spousal support. I waived everything.
When you don't know, do the research or take the paper with you. Said, okay, let me look into it. Read it yourself and then try to understand it if you can't afford a lawyer, or go straight to a lawyer and have a lawyer help you. I could understand whatever he had before he married you, you have nothing to do with it. Okay, I can understand that part. But during the marriage, and let's say if you have kids, and I think when Trump got in office, there was something that was done in, was it Florida, where they removed certain rights for marriage couple or something like that? But anyway, let's continue. Wow. This is why many of these old men going for young women, children pretty much. They don't know anything about these things. Wow. All right, let's continue.
For this house, it specifically states that him and his trust will always own this house. Yesterday I asked him again if there's anything I could do to get my name on the deed. He said no.
Of course he's not going to do that.
I mean, I don't know if there, I signed it. Like, I signed the paper, and that's, it just is what it is.
Now, I'm not a lawyer. Anybody who's into the law thing in the United States, and I don't know where she's from, so she sounds like an American, is if there was no lawyer who were helping her to sign it and said she was under duress. And maybe if she goes to court, the judge might said she didn't have any legal representation to explain that to her. That would be the only door. But the guy knew exactly what he was doing to make you sign all of these. Oh, shit. She's F. But does she have an education, though? All right, let's listen.
I don't expect anything other than child support. And the fact that he's not wanting to give me child support after I signed away literally everything is shocking to me. Like,
So in other words, he's expecting her to go to the government. Well, Trump is cutting a lot of those governmental things. So how is his children, or how many kids she has with him, to support the child? Oh my God.
everything. I waived everything. Except child support, because you can't waive child support in a prenup.
That's what I was saying.
Because it's not mine, it's my kids.
It's our.
But yeah,
you and her.
in my prenuptial agreement, I waived everything. I waived it all, thinking that I would be protected and that the man that I was marrying was a good man and he would never do anything to hurt me.
Oh my God.
But people change, feelings change, love changes. And people can lie. So if you're a female, if you're a woman, if you're a girl and you are watching this, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Put your name on the deed of the house that you're living in. I think that probably kills me more than anything. Like, we built this house. I designed that kitchen. It is mine.
Wow.
And yet, it's not. And it never will be, and it never was. So, that's it. Bye.
Wow. She effed up. All right, so let's see here. There's a shame mom going through a divorce on TikTok, and she's crashing out so badly because she signed a prenup that waived all her rights to everything they own, and her name isn't on anything. At the age of 27, with your two eyes, you signed that evil prenup? Wow. Okay, I will have asked her to also give him full parental control, but it seems those children are all she has left, and he doesn't seem like cares about them enough to want to raise them alone. He will probably get a girlfriend, wife, while their mother lives in a squalor, and won't even be able to care for them. Well, this might come back to bite him in the ass to a certain extent. If the kids grow up and learn this is what the father did to their mother, so there might be some regret in the future. And the kids might take pity to the mother. So doing this kind of cruel treatment to the mother of your children might come and bite him in the long run. If, let's say, at the end of his life, I don't know if he's going to have children with different women or something like that. So that might come to bite him in the ass. So if he has kids with other children, the next, or if he remarried, I don't know if every woman he's going to marry is going to sign this thing. But at least she opened the lid to some, well, they usually know who to do these things to. They usually know who to do these things to manipulate women. Many of these women don't know. They're just looking into their beauty, thinking that, like she thought she will be well taken care of. She thinks that the guy loves her. All they want is the thing between your legs. That's it. Oh, my God. Yeah, the kids might be very upset about that once they grow up. Oh, he already employed a nanny or something. She made a video about that, and the person he was cheating with was his ex-girlfriend. She did all through the 10 years they were married. That's why he did that, make you sign all of this, and then he knows you're not going to get anything, and he's free to do whatever he wants. The only thing I think is under duress. I think that's the term, right? Let me pause and look for it. Alright, so this is here. I asked Google, what is duress in law means? Duress in law refers to unlawful threats or coercion that force a person to act against their free will, often used as an affirmative defense in criminal cases or to avoid contracts. It involves immediate threat of death, serious bodily harm, removing the victim's ability to choose freely. But then again, she just did that freaking video. He will use that video against her, saying, you knew what you were signing. Usage example of duress in law. Criminal law, a person commits a robbery only because a gang is holding a... I'm talking more in terms of contract. Okay. A business owner signed a contract to sell their company at a massive loss because the buyer threatened to burn down their warehouse, which is deemed an unlawful threat. Marriage. A party is forced into a marriage ceremony under immediate threat of violence, making the union voidable. Let's say about signing contract. What does duress mean? Okay, what is duress in law means? And prenup or something, let's say prenuptial agreement. Duress and prenuptial agreement means one party signed a contract involuntarily due to unlawful threats, intense pressure, or coercion, depriving them of free will. It often involves last-minute high-stakes pressure to sign. That's the part here, high pressure to sign, which can invalidate the agreement. That's what I was thinking, but she created that video and put it public, and then the guy could use it against her, saying, you put this video out, which means you knew what you were doing when you signed the thing. Wow. Well, the good thing that I could say about that is that she's putting out there for others to learn. Let me go back. There's the video. The patriarchy then forced her to not go to college and not get a career and not buy a house and not get a 20-year younger boyfriend. She had the option to choose, and this is what she chose. Piggybacking on someone else's life lives your vulnerable consequences of life decision. There are many reasons women get sucked into and go along with these horrible marriages. I can assure you, competing with other women is pretty low on the list. The guy knew what he was doing. So that's that. I have another tweet making reference to it. I call it Prenup Debacle. Okay. Her lawyer 100% told her it was a risk. Oh, so she had a lawyer. She ignored the advice because she thought she was better than the other women who end up in a situation she is in now. Alright, so that's the retweet of that. No sympathy except for the kids. Alright, in many jurisdictions, that prenup will be set aside in a heartbeat regardless. Child support can be determined by a prenup, so she should do fine there. The child support, yes, but the law doesn't protect you from being stupid. The prenup isn't necessarily going to be set aside because it's unfair. Yeah, there's more. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let me add 2 more tweets, and then I don't know if that will be it for tonight. It's almost 5 o'clock. Tomorrow I may not record anything. Next week, this is okay. It's 3 minutes. Okay. Bravo Zohran Kwame, the Flash Mamdani. He's doing what politicians say was impossible. Real change. He is what having people representation looks like. Black and brown New Yorkers are being scammed of their home by deed theft. This is legalized theft. Wanna guess who some of these thieves are? Okay. This is happening in New York right now. A lot of African American are having issues. Properties like brownstone that they had for years under their name, out of nowhere, they don't own it without even signing. Now, this is one of the reasons why they've been trying, the GOP have been trying to not get Democratic politician in office, because if they get any, along with the Trump type of people there, many of these things will go unnoticed. As a matter of fact, it might even encourage for it to continue. So let's listen. It's 2 minutes and 46 seconds, and I have one more, and I think that's it for this video.
I am proud to announce City Hall will lead that work through the creation of New York City's first ever Office of Deed Theft Prevention. This office will be led by Peter White, a longtime supervising attorney for homeowner assistance at Access Justice Brooklyn. And this office will be housed within the Department of Finance, where Peter will write a news story of action. I know in the past, city government has too often stood idly by while deed theft occurs, rather than acting to prevent it. With Peter's leadership, we are bringing that era to an end.
This office will focus on 3 central tenets. Number 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, deed fraud prevention. And number 3, deed fraud correction and remediation.
Yeah. Oh, we need to rename Zohran to Zohran Kwame the Flash Mamdani.
They tried to assassinate him. Okay, I didn't report it. I don't know if I did, but they tried to assassinate him because when they don't want things to be corrected. All right, so I'm done with this. There's more to it, but I'm done with it. I just wanted you to hear the part where the mayor was talking. Next tweet, and this is my last one. U.S. farming. All right. 140,000 family farms have disappeared in the last year. This is not an accident. Since Obama, companies like Bayer have been secretly consolidating the American food supply, mass poisoning us, and waging war on organic farmers. We need to stop this now before it's too late. All right? 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
I have been an organic farmer in Maine since the 1970s, and no one can tell me or the other farmers here today that we can't grow food without all of these toxic chemicals.
Over 140,000 family farms will close this year, and nobody is talking about it. 140,000, guys. Why is this happening? Well, in the 1990s, Monsanto, later acquired by Bayer, introduced something called Roundup Ready crops, which are crops that are genetically engineered to resist glyphosate, which is the key ingredient in their weed killer, Roundup. This then led to a massive explosion in the use of glyphosate in factory farming, with now about 60% of total crops being treated with this pesticide. The only problem is that Roundup causes cancer, and Bayer has already had to pay tens of billions of dollars to settle these cases, which obviously is not ideal for corporate profits. In fact, Bayer is pushing a case in the Supreme Court right now that blocks people from suing them if they get cancer from Roundup. And the Trump administration is backing Bayer's bid to curb these Roundup lawsuits. And for the farmers who say, no, we don't want to chemicalize our food supply, Bayer has methodically driven them one by one out of business with the help of President Barack Obama.
What has gotten us to this point is the mergers and consolidations of ag input suppliers. In 2015, Monsanto and Bayer merged. They were competing against each other. And that was during Obama's administration. They didn't do a thing about that. They let it happen. When I started farming, we had 5 or 6 Arkansas-based seed companies. Monsanto, there's none. They're all owned by Bayer.
Point blank, they created a monopoly to poison you, and both parties are in on it. Right now, there's a farm bill, H.R. 7567, that Congress is expected to vote on this week that codifies immunity for Bayer and basically destroy organic farming going forward. We cannot allow this to pass.
Look more into it because I have not looked into it that much. I don't know much about that. So I saw it. I thought it was interesting to share with you. Let's see here. I'm 16 minutes. Let me pause and look for something else. All right. So I'm adding this here. They're still talking about the marathon. Please and effing thank you. It's almost 3 minutes. Let's listen to this.
The man who lost the Delaware Marathon has spoken out about how he felt about losing. The Delaware Marathon Running Festival ended in total shock this past Sunday when a runner was passed in the final moments. A man named Carson was only steps away from winning the marathon and was seen jogging towards the line with his arms raised in victory. While he was focused on his celebration, he did not realize that another runner was closing in very fast from about 50 yards behind. Joshua Jackson had picked up his speed and was surging towards the finish while the crowd screamed with excitement. Just as Carson reached the line, he was passed at the very last second by Joshua, who remained laser focused. Joshua finished with a time which was only 2 seconds faster than Carson. Now we found out how Carson feels. One source said the loser was seen being very upset afterwards. He worked so hard for this. He wanted it more than anything. He tried to put on a brave face, but ultimately he told his close ones that he was devastated. It is clear that Carson put everything into this race, and having the victory taken away so close to finish has been extremely difficult. The video...
Having the victory taken away? He didn't take it away. He slowed down and the guy passed him. It's like as if he won it and then they remove him from receiving the winning trophy or something like that. He slowed down. Look at this. The guy, the black guy, is still running full force, and he slowed down. He must have been, I know he must be very pissed. But let's continue.
Of the moment has gotten a lot of attention across social media, with thousands of people sharing the clip of the unexpected finish. But before you go, I want to know, how would you feel if you were him?
He didn't win.
That's true.
So how about you talk to Joshua Jackson about how it felt to actually win? Like, are we serious? And I saw some comments from some folks that'll say they're going to change the rules about this.
Oh, are they?
Apparently, you're not, going forward, you're not allowed to sprint the last moment of a marathon to win.
I think majority of coaches usually tell them to, when they're training the athletes, they tell them to sprint the last few meters or whatever. Sprint it. And then he had a goal. That's the problem here. The white guy did not have someone in front of him. He thought that was it, but he doesn't have eyes behind him. Okay? So he slowed down, when in fact he should have looked at the finish line and run faster. But the guy who was in the back had a target. The target was the guy, the white guy, who was running, and he was running slow. So he sprint to the finish line. How the hell you gonna change that? So that's gonna have to change for every other race, track and field, just because of this instance? How about training every athlete and said, always slow down after you pass the finish line? All right, let's continue.
Why are we interviewing the second place winner? I mean, we know why, but like, why don't we congratulate Joshua Jackson, the actual winner of the marathon? When we talk about whiteness being centered, this is a prime example of it. The dude didn't win. He was too slow. And he thought that he was going to win. So he checked his watch. He was like cruising in.
That's right.
But he lost. He's not the winner. But everyone wants to know how he feels about losing by 2 seconds.
Devastated. We already know.
How about we talk about what it took to sprint the last couple of moments of a marathon, and what that takes, and what Joshua Jackson did, and what his body was capable to do to win.
That's right.
Because he's the winner. He won first place. So why are we talking to the second place winner? Why are we talking about why he feels like he lost just barely, right? Like, let's think about this. This is what we're talking about when we talk about centering whiteness.
All right, let's see here. There's that. Oh, shut up. It's because he slowed down. If he looked back, he would have smoked him. Get real. Yeah, but he didn't. That's the perfect. But he didn't. So, yeah, we'll never know. LOL, but how can you celebrate before getting your victory? That's just diabolical and insane, if you ask me. Okay, no, it was announcer very quickly switching names as Jackson passed him. That had me rolling when I watched the video. Okay, I didn't hear the audio. Maybe I did from the CBS one, but I don't remember what I heard. The people at the finish did him dirty, not letting him know it was a runner closing, but they always say you don't celebrate until the deed is done. I don't know. What can they say? Hurry up, or there's somebody behind you? I don't know. The people who are saying they're going to change the rules are telling on themselves. That is literally how white supremacy continues to function as a well-oiled machine. Marathon gas, cramp, and faint you. Jackson went 26 miles, then sprint 100 plus yards to win. And track, we say he walked him down. It's almost unheard of in marathon, but now he can openly stand in the spotlight because, wait for it, white tears. Says he stole the win. Oh, is that them right here? Alright, in fact, Carson is not sure. He could have sped up even if he knew Jackson was on his heel. He was that gassed. He still would have caught me. Mello says, honestly, I was just glad to be done with the race. Yeah, but he slowed down. Only if he just continued a little bit faster. He did slow down. There they are here on the floor. That's the first time I'm seeing this image. Wow. Yeah, the white guy must be pissed. Of course he's gonna be upset. The lady. Alright, this is it. What did you want them to do? Move the tape closer to him so he will win? Get the F out of here. Learn how to run. Running for 2 hours just to coast for the last 2 seconds. There's this image. That lady. Yeah. He's, oh my God. This is the best image I've seen of this guy. Of the finish line. Oh my God. You see all the pressure, the force he put behind him. There's the guy already stopping his time. His clock. Oh my God. That's like one of the most disappointing moments for him. And there's the guy, this guy. He worked his butt for it. So that's a prime example of never give up. He slowed down. That's what kills him. There he is here. Wow. Alright, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I have a lot to edit right now. There's more. There's one video I want to do it by itself. I don't know if I'm gonna record it because I already done too many recording tonight or this morning. This one, I'm not sure. Oops. These are long videos, so they're probably gonna be by itself, or I may not even show them at all. And some of them I've already shared them. So that's it. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.